Pitbull. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, interesting news. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a fight. It looks like there has been an agreement in place. There's a deal in place for, there's no date yet, so keep that in mind. But May or June, it looks like Cruz has found his next opponent. Pitbull Cruz right now is angling towards a fight with Giovanni Cabrera. Now, Giovanni Cabrera, I am familiar with him. Like, he's a good fighter. He's a solid fighter, but I don't like using this word because I don't ever want to come off as like the bitter, angry boxing fan who can't appreciate nothing. Like, Cabrera is a good fighter, a real good fighter at 130. This is just like Cruz is doing this bullshit again. Cruz did this when he fought on the Andy Ruiz undercard, Andy Ruiz Luis Ortiz undercard last year. He fought Eduardo Ramirez, another 130 pounder who really is not a big puncher, and moved him up to lightweight. So he's doing the same thing here. Giovanni Cabrera is 21-0, 7 knockouts, light punching southpaw. And just to give you guys some context, right? Giovanni Cabrera's last 5 fights. If you just go who's last 5 fights. He's 5-0 with no knockouts. He has not stopped any fighter in his last 5 fights. You have to go all the way back to March of 2019 to find the last time Giovanni Cabrera stopped anybody, and that was a fighter by the name of Ricky Dulé, who was, 11-4. That was the last time he stopped somebody. So that's who Pitbull's fighting. That's who Pitbull wants to fight. And I'm not putting Cabrera down because he beat a good fighter at 130. He beat Rene Telis Garon, who's a very dangerous Mexican fighter. And I remember that fight very well because he took that fight on short notice. That was the fight that really put him on the map. He took that fight on short notice, and he stepped in for Luis Melendez, who I know because Luis Melendez is a fighter from down here in South Florida, and he beat Rene Telis Garon. Now, with that being said, Rene Telis Garon, we remember him. He knocked out Carlos Balderas and took his a very dangerous, explosive Mexican fighter. So for him to beat a guy like that, it kind of shows you what he's about. But like, my thing is this. Like, Pitbull Cruz is supposed to be this like Mexican Mike Tyson, but man, like, he's getting just spoon-fed. It's happening too much. He's getting spoon-fed these light punching southpaws from 130 because that's Cabrera. Giovanni Cabrera at 130 is the same thing as Eduardo Ramirez at 130. A light punching southpaw at 130 who's moving up to 35 for the opportunity to fight Pitbull Cruz because Pitbull Cruz is a name. And it's crazy because he didn't even beat Tank. Like, he didn't even freaking beat Tank. And it's almost like he's getting the treatment of him beating Tank. Like, he just had a competitive fight with Tank, and he gets, like, this star treatment. Like, he had a chance to fight Shakur Stevenson, turned it down. And, like, even apart from Stevenson, like, look at some of the fighters in and around the rankings in the WBC. You got Jaime Ortiz, who's at number 7, who's been complaining for fights. He can't get fights. That's a fight that they should look into making. Why not him? Why not, Michelle Rivera? Why not Frank Martin? There's so many options. Edwin De Los Santos. I mean, there's guys in PBC he could fight. Edwin De Los Santos, Frank Martin. But you don't hear Pitbull Cruz and his dad calling those names. They want to talk about the lion is silent and all this bullshit on Instagram and turning down fights with Shakur Stevenson. So, like, I like Pitbull Cruz. I respect his story. I respect how far he's come in his life from Mexico. I wish him the best. Like, I'm not wishing bad on him, but, like, the hype that he gets and the attention he receives as being this Mexican Mike Tyson, he don't even punch like that. He's not even a hard punching fighter like that. Like, he's not getting knockouts enough to call him that. And it really frustrates me that he refuses to fight anybody in his weight class that's actually like a top contender. PBC right now should be trying to make him fight Edwin De Los Santos. They should be angling towards fights with Frank Martin. Things like that, But no, what does he do? He fights, like his last 2 fights, like let's just call a spade a spade. The 2 fights he's had since Tank Davis, he fought shot to pieces Yuki Gamboa, okay? the fight after that, he fought Eduardo Ramirez, who is light punching southpaw with like zero pop. You know, none, very little pop. That's who he's been fighting. That's what that. So it's very carefully selected matchmaking. And listen, I wish Giovanni Cabrera the best. I quite like him. I like Cabrera. He's a good fighter. I respect the warrior mentality. I respect how he beat Rene Talise Garon on short notice. I respect him taking this fight. But at the end of the day, I had to call it out for what it is. This is Pitbull Cruz picking the path of least resistance because he's trying to build a Mexican fan base and get a knockout. I get like all this from a matchmaking standpoint, but man, like you've had your 2 layups, you had your 2 cupcake fights since the Tank fight. It's time to step up, brother. Like it's time to really show the world what Pitbull Cruz is about. We don't want no damn Giovanni Cabrera and Gamboa and Eduardo Ramirez. No, Edward De Los Santos, Frank Martin, you know, Jermaine Ortiz, William Zepeda, you know, Shakur Stevenson. Shit, even a George Kambosos Jr. with a fist, you know, something like that, you know. But that's the news. Isaac Cruz will be fighting Giovanni Cabrera, the light punching 130-pounder, as Cabrera moves up from 130 to 135 to fight Cruz in either May or June. So make of that what you will. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.